going to show you what I make for my noon meal. This is the alfalfa sprout salad, and I take the baked sweet potato. I bake the sweet potatoes ahead of time and then just let them come to room temperature. And then I put the baked sweet potato onto the plate, mash it up. And here are my alfalfa sprouts that I've been sprouting for 4 days. So I just put an amount of the alfalfa sprouts. And then I use the spirulina powder. This is an excellent source of protein. The alfalfa sprouts have protein. Maybe just a teaspoon of the spirulina. And then I have the lentil sprouts that have been sprouting for several days. Then I use Dulse sea lettuce. This brings minerals from the sea, and because they go through a plant, they are very usable by the body. They're organic source. So just some little pieces of the Dulse. Then I add the avocado. The grapefruit is not as juicy as I like it, but I do prefer the pink grapefruits grown in Texas. But anyway, we're going to use this little grapefruit on it. My brother taught me one time when I was living in Puerto Rico about combining avocado and grapefruit in a salad. He had been to a party where they did that, and so I saw what a great combination that was. So in a salad we usually have some kind of an acid, usually vinegar or perhaps lemon juice. So in this case it's just a little bit different flavor by having the grapefruit with the avocado. I have a nice grapefruit spoon, so that makes it real easy to get the sections of the grapefruit out. But some people use a knife to go around the sections. You could use a juicer, for orange juice, and just get the juice out. But I like seeing the little pieces of grapefruit. In a salad dressing, we also usually have an oil. So we're going to use olive oil, extra virgin. Always look for extra virgin olive oil. And we're just going to add a little bit. Then the magical ingredient is not blackstrap molasses, but it comes in a plastic, so I put it into glass as soon as I get it home. This is Quick Sip that comes from Dr. Jensen in California. I have to order it. I call them and then they send it to me. But this has a soy base. It also has some of the dulse in it. It's also a good source of the minerals and essential amino acids. For me, it just has the just right flavor for the salad, especially with the avocado and the grapefruit. So that's the basic salad that I eat for lunch every day. Okay, so now I'm going to teach you how to do marinated beets. Now, first we're going to come over here and pour some of our crystal charged distilled water into the pan. And then we're going to put into that water some of the ginger, the fresh ginger. And so that this will be the ginger tea that I told you about that I use for my miso soup. Well, as long as you're going to have the water from the beets steaming, well, you might as well use it for something else later. So it's going to be used, this water that's going to have the beet drippings and the ginger tea in it will be used for making the miso soup some of the time. So we just peel the ginger and then we're going to make it into slices. So that water is going to be getting hot while I prepare the beets. Now you can notice that I'm putting the organic waste from my preparations into this pan because they will be taken out to my compost. So I always want to compost everything from the kitchen. I always look for the freshest greens on the beets because I'm going to use the greens in my salad as well, or steam them and put them in the miso soup. But it's real important to do the green leaves every day because the chlorophyll is almost identical to the hemoglobin molecule in our blood. And it's the hemoglobin molecule that carries the oxygen. So by eating green leaves, we support the oxygen carrying capacity of our blood. Many years ago, when I rinsed the alfalfa sprout jars, I poured the water out to the plants and the little sprouts took hold. So I have alfalfa growing all over my front yard and some in the back and the side yard. So I go and pick the alfalfa fresh and put it in my salad as well. So that's a good source of my green leaves. And even in the winter here, I can usually get some alfalfa. There are other wild plants that grow in the yard. Violets can be eaten, the leaves and the flowers. Lamb's quarters has grown here just all by itself. Amaranth, purslane, and it's very important that we understand the wild plants, we can identify them, that we have them growing in our own yard so that we can have this support from nature. If that's the things that want so easily to grow, then why do we fight them and plant things that we have to use chemicals to make them grow? So we're going to let those steam for about 15 or 20 minutes. Sometimes beets take a little longer than other vegetables. Now, what are we going to do with the greens? We're going to take off the larger leaves, wash them and put them in the refrigerator. Sometimes I steam them, sometimes I just eat them raw in the salad. Now, with just these few leaves left on, we're going to put them on a glass plate, and we're going to put water, just the crystal charged distilled water, on that plate. And those green leaves will continue to come up even for as long as a month. So you cut the little green leaves off, put them in the salad, put them in the soup, and more will keep coming. So this is a good thing, especially in the winter, especially in an apartment. You can grow your own greens that you need every day right there in your own kitchen. So when the beets are tender, then I'm going to put them in a bowl, and I'm going to add some extra virgin olive oil and a little bit of the quick sip like we used on the salad, and then either balsamic vinegar or apple cider vinegar, preferably organic, and you just let those beets soak in that, and it makes wonderful marinated beets. You can do the same thing with squash, with zucchini squash, yellow squash, or okra. You can do those raw, and you just add the extra virgin olive oil, the quick sip, and either kind of vinegar that you want or lemon juice, and that gives you a really nice tasty way of using those vegetables raw. So I thank you for your attention, and I thank you for coming into my kitchen, and I hope that this is helpful to you in preparing your foods. And I send you love and blessings.